Are you kidding me, Green Bay? That's what you do in a championship game? You should all be ashamed of yourselves. I am so disgusted with you guys. Oh my God. Let's get into this. First, I want to say this. I want to congratulate the San Francisco 49ers for getting to the Super Bowl. A lot of people thought you guys were an overrated team, and you proved them wrong by getting to the big game. You guys have been building a very difficult, like a legit squad the last 3 years. You've been building this squad up, putting pieces on that defense and that offense. Last year, all you were missing was Jimmy Garoppolo, who got injured, and a few pieces on your offense and your defense. You got that pieces in the draft, and you got Jimmy Garoppolo back. Next thing you know, y'all in the Super Bowl. So congratulations, you had a great season. I wish you guys the best of luck in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. I can't wait to see that game. It is going to be epic. Best of luck to you guys. As for Green Bay, oh my God. You guys should be disgusted by this game. Matt LaFleur should be disgusted by this game. Aaron Rodgers, you should be ashamed of your teammates in this. Y'all were down 27-0. 27-0 at halftime. How do you go? You are in the championship game and you're down 27-0. Are you serious? This is the same team you faced off with on Sunday Night Football where they blew you out of the stadium. They just blew you guys out and absolutely humiliated you. Are you telling me that you guys have not learned anything from that experience between then and now? It didn't seem like it because the first half was, the game was over at halftime. 27-0? Everyone should be disgusted for this performance. I don't care about the 20 points. I don't care. It wasn't going to help you get back in the game. That game was over at halftime and we all knew it. Y'all should be ashamed of this performance. You guys are dragging Aaron Rodgers' name down. And he's not excused. Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, let's talk about this dude. Aaron, you did not have a horrible game. But you did not have a special game as well. You played average. You had over 300 yards passing. You had 2 touchdowns. You also had 2 interceptions. You played okay in a game where you needed to be spectacular in order to get to the Super Bowl. You played okay in a game we needed you to be prime Aaron Rodgers. Instead of a virtuoso, we got an average game from Aaron Rodgers. This was pathetic. This was pathetic. And I can't really blame Rodgers for his performance because his teammates weren't certainly helping him. Well, 2 of them were, but everyone else wasn't helping him. So he had to do what he had to do. He had to work with what he had. And it really showed. Now, that's not going to excuse him because now his legacy is severely impacted by this. Do you understand that now with this loss, Aaron Rodgers is 1-3 in championship games? 1-3. The only win this guy has on championship weekend is against Jay Cutler's Bears. And the worst part is Jay Cutler got injured in that game, even though he was riding that bike. But he got injured in that game and didn't play for the rest of the game, meaning the backup quarterback had to come in. So Aaron Rodgers beat a team, a Bears team, that had their backup quarterback playing because their starting quarterback, who's Jay Cutler, got injured. That's the only team you've beaten to get to the Super Bowl. When you went up against Seattle, your team choked. When you went up against the Atlanta Falcons, your team got blown out of the stadium. You weren't even a competition to them. You didn't deserve to be in the same stadium as the Falcons. That's how bad you guys were. Now against the Niners, you got put to sleep. This was a scrimmage for them. This was light work for them. Light work. They didn't even have to try to beat you guys, and they just demolished you. This is your legacy, Aaron. You are now viewed by a lot of people as the most overrated quarterback in NFL history. You'll put up great numbers, you'll have great seasons, but you cannot seem to win on championship weekend, and you certainly can't get to the Super Bowl. You are under 500 in the playoffs. That's your record. You're under 500. You're a future Hall of Fame and all-time great, and this is your legacy. You cannot win in the postseason. You can't get to a Super Bowl. You won 1 Super Bowl, and now everyone's starting to look at it like it's a fluky Super Bowl because you beat the Bears without Jay Cutler. That's your legacy, man. That's your legacy. Not only that, but your Super Bowl window, It's about closed. I say you got 1 year left. Drew Brees' Super Bowl window is already closed. It closed this season. Him and Sean Payton. They will not win a ring together. It closed this season after they just choked against the Vikings. It's over for them. You got 1 year left, Rodgers. You got 1 year. Good luck doing something with it. As for this offense, Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams, kindly step up. I want to give you guys a round of applause because you guys came out here and played with some heart and some passion and gave it your all. You did whatever you could to help this team come back and win. Aaron Jones, you had a rushing touchdown and you had a receiving touchdown. You did whatever you could to help this team get back into it. Devontae Adams, same to you. 136 receiving yards. You did not leave Aaron Rodgers out there to try and die by himself. You tried to help your quarterback as best as you could. It wasn't enough, but you did your job. Same for Aaron Jones. You guys, you really tried. I give you a lot of credit. You showed up today. I'm proud of you guys. Kindly leave. Enjoy your off season. Come back stronger. Come back better. I wish you guys the best. Can't wait to see you guys play next season. Goodbye. As for the rest of the offense, all of you guys are some bumps. All of you should be ashamed of yourselves. I got one particular problem with one person. Forget about the rest of the receivers. They play like trash. We already know that. But this dude, Jimmy Graham, this guy is terrible. He is terrible. Can you believe the Packers let go of Jordy Nelson and picked up this guy? Now, Jordy Nelson isn't the best receiver, but I mean the best receiver. He isn't the best tight end, but he gets the job done. And him and Aaron Rodgers had such a connection. They had great chemistry that even though in his later years, Jordy Nelson started to slow down production, he was still playing well for the Packers because no matter what, Aaron Rodgers could trust him. When he throws that ball down the field, he knows Jordy Nelson is going to be there, and he knows Jordy Nelson is going to make the catch. They had such a great relationship and such a great connection on the field. And Green Bay, they just decided to let him go and ruin that. And they pick up this guy instead. This guy hasn't been great since he was with the Saints. He flopped with Seattle, and now he's sticking up the joint in Green Bay. Terrible! The rest of the receivers, like I said, they were trash. They don't even deserve to be talked about. That's how bad they were. Irrelevant. They got completely shut down by San Francisco secondary. It wasn't even a competition. Offensive line, you were absolutely pathetic today. You understand that? The snapper fumbled the football. Aaron Rodgers didn't even touch that ball. The snapper fumbled the football. It was just on the ground, free for the Niners to take. You were down 17. You're inside the red zone. And the long snapper's gonna fumble the ball like that? Are you kidding me, dude? Turnover! You just ruined everything. The last bit of hope you had in this game was just taken away because the snapper messed up the snap. Aaron Rodgers didn't even touch that ball. It was already on the ground. What's worse, this offensive line did not protect Aaron Rodgers at all today. These guys couldn't protect Rodgers if you paid them to do. Oh wait, you are getting paid to do so, and you still suck at it. The entire offensive line should be ashamed of themselves. Matter of fact, do me a favor, offensive line. I need each and every single one of you guys to hand over your game checks. Matter of fact, no. Scratch that. I want each and every single one of you guys to use those game checks to pay for everybody's plane tickets back home. Because you guys didn't show up, so you need to contribute something. I really can't believe you guys were down 27-0. The game ended 37-20, but I don't care about the 20 points. The game was over when you went into halftime. How do you sit back and get down by 27 points? Are you serious, guys? Speaking of that, this defense may have been the worst offender of all. Just the worst offender. Forget about what the offensive line was doing, not protecting Aaron Rodgers. This defense didn't even show up. Do you guys understand that Jimmy Garoppolo was 6 of 8 for 77 yards in this game? He threw the ball 8 times and had 77 pass yards. He did that for an entire game. And his team put up 37 points. And they're going to the Super Bowl. That's what Jimmy Garoppolo did. You know what that means? That means that this Packers defense sat back and let Mozart run all over him. Do you understand? This is what Mozart did in this game. 220 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns. I thought Baltimore had the worst defensive performance against the run when they got absolutely smashed by Derrick Henry. No. The Packers won up the Ravens. This Packers defense couldn't stop the run to save their lives today. They were getting embarrassed by Mozart. Dudes were trying to make the tackle. He was just breaking tackles like it was just so easy. He didn't even have to try, and he racked up over 200 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. It was too easy for this dude. This Packers defense should be ashamed of themselves. Oh my God, that is just pathetic. Mozart went out there and he treated this Packers defense like they was some freaking practice dummies. Because at the end of the day, when I looked at that performance by Mozart, he wasn't playing in the NFC Championship game. He was playing in a scrimmage at home. They were in practice right there. The Niners were playing practice. They were just practicing out there. Mozart was just out there practicing for what he's going to try to do in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs defense. It just looked like that. He was just practicing for the Super Bowl. Because with the way these guys couldn't tackle him and the way these guys couldn't stop him, they're no better than practice dummies. Practice, at least they would make some attempt. These guys were trash. Oh my God. And you can just see the change in my voice because as I continue to talk about this, I get more and more disgusted with this team. And more disgusted with what I gotta say. I don't mind that the Niners won this game. We all knew most likely the Niners were gonna win this. Even though I picked the Packers for the upset just because I wanted to be edgy. But like, we all knew the Niners were gonna win this game. That's not the point of this discussion. That's not the point of this rant, in fact. If the Packers would have kept this competitive and close and they end up losing the game, I would have been completely happy. Everybody would have been fine. But the fact of the matter is that you guys got manhandled. Y'all got straight up manhandled. Again by this team. That's the problem. Everybody should be ashamed of themselves. That entire defense right now, they don't deserve to board the plane. They need to get in that locker room, pack up their stuff, and head back to Green Bay on a bus. That's what they deserve. They don't deserve to be on a plane. Because they didn't play like they deserved to fly a plane back home. They didn't play like no NFL players. They did not look like that today. They were absolutely disgraceful. I really don't know what else I can say about this team. I mean, they pissed themselves today. They legit pissed themselves. They got absolutely exposed. They got embarrassed. Aaron Rodgers now seems like the most overrated quarterback in NFL history. Matt LaFleur looked like he just didn't know what he was doing. The defense didn't seem like they came to play at all. Matter of fact, the defense didn't even leave Green Bay. They're still on the field. They're still on the field with those Seattle players wondering if Jimmy Graham... No, matter of fact, they're still on the sideline cheering. Because their offense got that first down. Remember Jimmy Graham got that first down? The defense is over there on the sideline cheering in Green Bay right now. Because they obviously didn't get on the plane. They did not come down to San Francisco to take on the Niners. They did not. You don't go out there and give up that many yards if you actually showed up to play a football game. 220 rushing yards. And 4 touchdowns? I can't believe that. I'm sitting here and I'm just disgusted. I thought my team played bad. At least Derrick Henry, he's a beast, and we knew he was a beast. Mozart started to come up, and y'all let him go Derrick Henry on you guys. Matter of fact, his performance beats out the 2 performances we saw from Derrick Henry. Well, not in total, but I'm just being like in a single game. Like if you compare Mozart's performance today with Derrick Henry's game against the Ravens, or Mozart's performance against Derrick Henry's against the Patriots, Mozart's performance beats it out because this dude had 220 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns. I don't know what to say about you, Green Bay. I'm just so disgusted. I'm just fucking... I don't know what to say, man. What else can I add to this? I can go back and blame coaching. They were awful. They didn't really make I mean, they made some adjustments, I guess, if you want to say that. Not too many adjustments, because actually, no, they made some adjustments on offense. which after they started to get something going and stop turning over the ball until, the second interception happened late in the game. But, they started to make some adjustments on offense. Defense made absolutely no adjustments. They continued to get dominated by the run. They did not force Jimmy Garoppolo to pass the football because they just couldn't stop the run. The players were terrible in this game, and Aaron Rodgers did not play spectacular. It was a whole entire mess. 60 minutes of football, and you come up with that. That's pathetic. That's absolutely pathetic. This whole postseason has just been completely disappointing for me. Because first off, you get the Saints, who I had high expectations for, my pick to go to the Super Bowl. They choke at home to Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. Then you got my Ravens team. My Ravens squad, I've been talking about them going to the Super Bowl since week 9 after they beat the Patriots. And they continue to win and dominate. Best record in the league, 14-2. What do? They go out there at home, divisional game, prime time, and they stink up the joint and they choke as well against Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans. That same Titans team went up against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, who were completely prepared, and they dropped 35 on that defense and held the offense of the Titans to 24. Chiefs know how to take care of business. I'm glad they're in the Super Bowl. They know how to take care of business. Saints choked. Ravens choked. I tried to give some faith to the Packers, and they put up the worst performance out of all of them. At least with the Saints, they fought back. They choked, but they fought back, went into overtime, and the defense just couldn't stop Kirk Cousins. They get some points. They choked, but at least they took it to overtime. Baltimore, they just embarrassed themselves. I don't know. That still may be the most embarrassing loss of the postseason because you were 1 seed and you lost to a 6 seed. You were heavily favored against them to make it to beat them and get to the championship game, and you just embarrassed yourself. At least with Green Bay, we already knew the Niners were a better team. But to get smoked like that, it's just sad. With that being said, even with all of that, I'm still glad the Niners got to the Super Bowl because I love the team. I love Jimmy Garoppolo, and I hope he actually has a big game here because it really helped him. Because now it doesn't even seem like Jimmy Garoppolo is contributing to this win. It seems like the team is carrying him. It's not saying they are carrying him. Jimmy Garoppolo is getting carried by this run game and this amazing defense he has. Then you look on the flip side, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. He's better than any other quarterback playing by far. And now he's going to his first Super Bowl. He should have been in the Super Bowl last year, but now he's going to his first. So I can't wait to see what he's going to do in his first Super Bowl. Dude was already an MVP last year. Now he's heading to his first Super Bowl. The guy is putting up one amazing resume. This is his era. I already said this in my last video. This is his era. And I can't wait to see what this guy's going to do. Lamar and Deshaun are going to have to fight with Mahomes for supremacy in the AFC. As for the NFC, let's just hope this Niner team keeps this unit together. Because they got a strong unit. They got a lot of young guys. A lot of young pieces. They can add more in the draft and get better. And they can come back next year. Let's not talk about next year right now. Let's talk about the Niners getting the job done in 2 weeks. Hopefully they can. They're going up against the Chiefs. It should be fun. But for the Packers, just go home. Just go home. I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm so tired of talking about you guys right now. You were disgraceful. Aaron Rodgers' legacy will never be the same after this. It's just not going to be the same. Even if he wins another Super Bowl, it's just not going to be the same. Sad. Just sad. That's all I got. Hope you guys enjoyed. We got a lot more videos and a lot more content to talk about. We know the Pro Bowl's coming up next week, so I'll talk about that. I'll get to see Lamar one last time. But hey, it is what it is. There's always next season. That's all I got. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm out. Peace.